This is Sean Cole of Inside Sim Racing and welcome to Test Drive Tuesdays. In this week's test drive, I'm back to WRC 4 by Milestone, but this time I'm running on the PC and in triple screens. I'll be driving using a Thrustmaster T500 with the GTE wheel and a set of Fanatec Clubsport pedals. I'll be running a single stage of the Rally Finland. The stage goes by the name of Lankama and is one of the longer stages in WRC 4, coming in at 8.2 kilometers. The car of choice is normally driven by Sebastian Loeb, and that is the Citroën DS3 WRC model. This amazing little beast of a car only weighs 1,200 kilograms and gets 300 horsepower out of its tiny little 1,600cc turbocharged 4-banger motor. As we start off, I want to talk a little bit about this stage in general. It's a gravel stage, and that makes it very slippery. The car always having a tendency to drift out wide around corners. Overcompensate and it will send you all the way around. Off the side of the road is grass, and you can drive over it with no problem. However, you will find it pulls you even farther off the track. Many sections of this stage have banking on the sides, a wall of dirt or boulders that will certainly end your day. I wouldn't call it a narrow stage, but the dangers of being even slightly off compensate enough to make it a challenging stage. And then to top it off, Finland is full of big jumps. Off a jump, really sliding it into this corner in 4th gear. Through this section, it's very slippery, but if you overdrive it, you will be in those banking, no problem at all. Through here, you can kind of cheat, get through the grass a little bit, straight line it a little bit, but you got to be careful. You got a lot of rocks here to deal with. One touch of those rocks and it's over. I've crashed many times over those two little jumps, and it puts you really fast into that corner there. Flying along through here, no problem. This corner here is slippery. It is hard to stay on the track. I've been in the trees off to the left. Through a little chicane here. Tough driving. You can see I'm all over the wheel on this, just trying to keep it straight in line. Little jump, rocks to the left, fence to the right. Either one will end your day. You can see I just barely brushed the fence there, but I'm okay. Just got to kind of keep it here in 4th gear, hauling ass. Coming into a hard left-hand 90-degree left. A little bit of e-brake. Little too slow, almost brushed the wall, but I'm okay. You can see it rattled me a little bit, but I'm okay. This section all the way up to 6th gear, and you are at full speed, and you are just hanging on. And as you come up over the top of this hill, you're going to get a little bit light, and it's very hard to slow it down and get this car to the right without going way out of control right there. And you're just kind of hanging on through that chicane of trees. It's very narrow, a lot more narrow than the road looks. Going through here, a few whoop-de-doos, really easy to get the rear end of the car loose. Here's another left-hander. You're coming in so fast, it's hard to not end up wide and in those rocks. This is a pretty easy section through here. You know, another thing I want to talk about when looking at WRC is the overall graphics. Running in triple screens, it's a little bit framey compared to in a single screen, but it is beautiful. The graphics are definitely better than last year's version, and on the PC you can see a lot big tree in the way there. The other part of the graphics that are really outstanding and very important when it comes to rally racing is the depth and how much you can see out in front of you. And when you're running through trees like this, that's somehow the way you're picking the line. You can't necessarily always see the road in front of you. Another thing that's really important when talking about a rally game are the physics. I felt that the wheel was fairly in tune with the game, maybe a little bit synthetic compared to like an iRacing when it comes to that 1-to-1 ratio between the wheel and what you're getting. But with the T500, I had no dead zone issues, and I was able to get a pretty good linearity that matched what I wanted out of the ride. The other thing about the physics is what you're feeling. You see, going over these bumps, putting the wheel into the grass, you're feeling that in the wheel. Every time I land, I feel the suspension move. You're using that, sawing on the wheel left and right, trying to keep that thing centered as it skips over the bumps in the air a little bit. The other part of the physics is the weight transfer. Too much weight on the nose and the thing definitely loses traction and just goes straight. Not enough braking, you're not going to get it to turn. The one thing I didn't like, and this is something I hope they resolve and I'll have to look into more, is the dead zone when it came to both the gas and brake pedal. I found it very hard to really use those as well as I'd like to, like when comparing it to the steering wheel itself. Another aspect of the game is the sound. Sounds is something I think are adequate, but definitely not one of the best features of WRC4. They definitely give you car control, you can hear the throttle, they're timed with the game, but there's something a little bit missing.
60, northbound 5, careful, stop, then left 2, into right 3, into left 3.
Back to the driving, you can see I just went through a very sketchy section. I wish I had been calling it right there. You are just hanging on for dear life. You're coming the thing about this game is you are closing from incredibly fast speeds into really slow speeds, trying to get it under control. When you're looking at the Rally Finland, you can see how loose it is. You can see how much trouble I'm having trying to keep it on the track and not slide outward into the rocks. But at the same time, you can't cut it too far to the inside or you're going to hit the inside barrier. A lot of people complain about the narrowness, but as you see, I think it's pretty narrow. Not a bad run by me, and in the end, I believe I took 3rd place. I'm Sean Cole with Inside Sim Racing, and I'll see you on the track.